Hi, everyone. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's vlog post. The work continues to work. The people who are engaged in the strategies and following the plan, executing, are really seeing phenomenal results. And I think it's been nothing short of amazing, to be honest with you, that we're seeing so many people having record-breaking months for production, both in units and in dollar volume. And for some, these numbers are really special given the length of time they've been in the business and how well they do on average. That to see people setting career numbers and sometimes in consecutive months, and for the companies themselves who are out there and setting records. It just shows that even with all the things that are going on, staying connected to your clients and your referral partners will continue to produce results. And I think it's important that people pay attention to the lessons of what's been happening and what people have been doing and what the results have looked like. And so as more and more people are buying houses each day, I'm seeing originators really being active at generating listing opportunities, for their realtor referral partners, probably at a rate that I've never seen before, because so many loan officers are reaching out to their database and asking the questions of, about how they're doing and what they're seeing. Many in the quest of doing refinances are also asking the question about it being their forever home. And we're seeing those responses come back where people are now aware of the fact that they could have the house of their dreams for about the same monthly payment as they're currently paying on the house that they live in now. In fact, interest in the mortgage arena right now, interest in the potential of buying houses or just refinancing and changing your financial perspective is so keen that I've actually seen a couple of younger originators, those that don't have huge databases of past clients. They made a plan to put a flyer out in a specific neighborhood. And it really was very straightforward because they knew how old the neighborhood was. They knew that there wasn't a lot of turnover. So that they knew the people who were in these houses were 3, 4, 5 years into them. And they had a pretty good idea that whether it was time for them to move or just refinance out of a loan with a considerably higher payment, it would be a good idea to drop off some information. Now, with coronavirus and everything else, they didn't knock on any doors, but they just put their flyer in what amounts to be a newspaper plastic bag and hung them on the front door. And they spent a little over an hour just going out there and dropping these flyers off in this neighborhood. And they got two deals. They got two people who called up, found what that flyer and understood that it was interesting. And when you think about the neighborhood that they were in and you think about the borrower and the size of the loan, it's hard to comprehend where about an hour's worth of preparation and about an hour's worth of work for them generated around $3,000 in income. And it begs the question, how many more communities are out there where you could do that? What if you just had those communities and you were out in front of them? How many of those people, when we talk about the forever home strategy, how many of those people again are meeting the conditions that we've talked about in the past? Maybe a new baby's coming, maybe there's a divorce situation, maybe they're going to be working from home and need a home office. The reality of this is there are so many different ways right now for people to need to have that discussion, that conversation, understand what their options are and the costs. Because I think it's critical that there is such pent up demand and now there's so much more opportunity that if loan officers really understand about getting out there and engaging, and for many of you, there are more people looking for houses than available properties. Well, what better way to generate interest in what it is that you're doing than to create listing opportunities for your referral partners. So think about that. The other thing I want to bring up right now is under from a management and a larger originator platform is that if you're a manager or you're an originator thinking about growing your team, if you're thinking that an assistant or somebody along those lines, or maybe a potential new junior LO or processor, production partner, whatever you want to think about your business and adding somebody, you really need to investigate right now the possibility that you've got a whole wave of college graduates who are coming out and finding a job market that they've never seen before. And to be honest with you, the mortgage industry is booming at the moment. There are so many other industries that are facing their challenges that when you think about the prospects of dealing with somebody who just graduated from college, and it doesn't much matter to me what the degree was in, but having completed that process shows you that they can learn a system that they can meet certain criteria and objectives over a certain period of time. Why wouldn't you think about the possibility of reaching out to your local college, university, post on social media that you're looking? Because for a very small price of entry, you could bring in a really qualified individual that you could teach from the ground up exactly what you need them to do. And to be honest with you, with the amount of business that's taking place, one of the things that's challenging when you get a new person is they don't get enough repetitions in learning the job, seeing the job, getting experience. Well, right now, most all of us that would be thinking about hiring are thinking about hiring because we've got extensive volume. So not only do you get a highly trained candidate, somebody that you don't have to deal with preconceived notions or past experience, or that's not the way we used to do it at my old company. Many of these people are very technology savvy and driven, that they can pick up on things that you can do or you're doing very quickly and help you branch out into areas you may be very weak in. So I think it's really important that you don't miss an opportunity to find a really good candidate, and for very little investment in the size and scope of the big picture, giving them a livable base and a per file bonus while you're training them to be what you want them to be. I don't see that there's any downside. The greatest part about that is you get to see and pick out the flaws in your own system as you're training it to someone new. So think about the possibility of that outreach and having those conversations, that if you need one or two or three people to groom into your team, that now might be the time to look for some of those people, not within the industry, but coming out of school. So remember, it's really important that you take advantage of these opportunities, but it's also important that you remember, many of you are on, social boards on the internet. Many of you are seeing information from around the country, what different loan officers are doing. And I just want to caution everybody to remember, we're all in different markets. We all have different things going on in our location. We've all dealing with different challenges. The new situation is different for all of us each day. There are some people who are out there working as if coronavirus was nothing. And they're almost 100% back to whatever normal was. There are other areas that still have not come out and may not for a while. There are people who have different feelings about their trust about getting out and looking. What I'm telling you is to be understanding of the entire spectrum of people. Because to be honest with you, the housing market is really solid right now, and I don't see it backing up. The opportunities are enormous. The desire is greater than I think I've ever seen in my career. Then you just do have to pay attention to that. Not everybody is working at the same speed. So pay attention to the work, pay attention to the outreach, using the tools and the strategies to generate the opportunities with your referral partners, and your database is really important, and it's really working. And as always, if you've got a great success story, if you've tried something and seen success with it, share it back with us. We love hearing how you tried something, what you tried, how you did it, what the results were, because in many times it's making that effort, and sometimes that effort is rewarded in ways that you never thought. So keep connecting with your people, keep speaking to your people, keep moving forward with the awareness, continue to provide information and options for people, and you're going to be rewarded with a great deal of opportunities and a lot of growth. And I think a very special feeling from having done a really great job serving people who are in a time where your help can make all the difference. So as always, questions or comments, it's Mike at imtcoaching.com, and we look forward to speaking to you again soon. Take care.